Hey friends, today I finally started putting away my Thanksgiving decor and I'm ready for Christmas. Starting to do the china cabinet project that I've had in mind for lots and lots of weeks. I first saw an image on Pinterest um, of someone with plaid behind their dishes in their china cabinet, and I just thought it was gorgeous. I just was in love with it. So I thought, let's imagine how my Better Homes and Gardens dishes would look on some plaid. Now I'll tell you, I looked high and low for tartan, but I ended up with this plaid, which I love as well. So here we go. I'm going to be taking all the fall dishes out of the china cabinet. And you know how I do things in stages. I had some Christmas stuff laying on the table, and here comes the autumn fall plates laying up in the middle of it. But you know what I did? I packed it all away in very nice tubs and sealed it up and put paper towels in between. Just about one sheet of a paper towel is enough between plates. And I made sure that I had all that labeled and ready to go up in the attic, so that when the Christmas stuff came down, I would have room to put the Thanksgiving and fall items up. So, and I'll tell you, that exhausted me. Just doing that part of it just exhausted me. It was so much to do. But I was glad to get it done correctly. And I'm not sure if I'll use the gold glasses in that cabinet with the red behind it. Not sure how that's going to look yet. But I have to tell you, the Better Homes and Gardens plates, the Heritage Christmas plates, I'm not sure they even make them anymore, but they did for several years in a row and sold them at Walmart. Well, I had just a couple pieces of it and thought it was wonderful. Hey, look at me taking these glass shelves out. I did great on the first one. Put it carefully over to the side. They're heavy as everything. But look, on the second one, it stuck, and it stuck so tight, so badly. I tried and I tried. I got it wedged in there. It's heavy, I'm telling you. I don't know what I did to do that. But finally, I called my sweet husband to come over, and he even had to pull pretty hard. Look at me resting. Wore myself out. Oh, he's going to love that he had his pajama pants on. Sorry, babe. He had a fever, actually, so the fact that he did this with a fever, that was nice of him. That was super nice. But okay, so he got it out, and it's over to the side. Okay, back to the story of the heritage dishes. I love them, love them, and I looked on Facebook Marketplace and was willing to look outside my local area on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm so glad I did that day, because a girl in Tennessee was selling a huge set of it, of serving dishes and plates and all kinds of stuff. And what I did was made my sister Lisa go with me to Tennessee. I forget the name of the town, but it was like a 2-hour one-way trip. It was a long way. But she sold, once I got all the pieces home, I looked them up and added up the value. It was probably retail value about $500 worth of those dishes for $50. So, but we made a fun day of it. We stopped at 2 or 3 really good thrift stores on that trip. And here I go, stapling in. Now, since this time, I have discovered that there is a much easier way to have done this. And believe me, when spring comes, yeah, or after Christmas, I don't know when I'll take that red down. Maybe just in January sometime. Next time, I'm going to remove the back panel off the back of my china cabinet. I'm going to pull it away from the wall, take the back panel off, cover the back panel separately, and then put the back panel back on. Hello, I don't know why that didn't occur to me. I think because in my old Duncan Fife china cabinet, there was not that option, because it's built, differently as a solid piece of wood. So it didn't occur to me that the back would come off. But once I started shooting the staples into that back, it was flimsy enough, not really flimsy, but just, it was like a thin piece of luan back there. It was moving, and I pushed against it and thought, holy cow, this thing would come off and that would be easier. So Next time I'll do it more easily. Now this fabric, what it is a $10 tablecloth from Walmart. And listen, I looked high and low all over fabric departments. I even went to Wilson's Fabrics, but the problem was their tartan that they had some beautiful, but it was teeny tiny little checks that you couldn't have seen. It wouldn't have been as good an effect from a distance. And I looked online even, but I didn't want to really pay $30 for a tablecloth to cut up and put back there. So what I ended up doing was finding this tablecloth at Walmart and thought, you know what, tartan is the dream. Maybe next year I'll find some tartan. I'll have a whole year to look for tartan. But in the meantime, this is great, and $10 is the best price, or the most economical way I could do this. So here I go with my electric stapler, just putting it all up. And you know, the middle doors open like French doors, and it's easy to get in that section, but those side sections were narrower than the width of my shoulders, and so I was wiggling around, and my shirt was getting hooked onto the inside of the cabinet knobs, and I was doing all kinds of huckabuck dances trying to get in there and get free of it. And oh goodness, I had to lie down and take a big rest after I did this. But you know, nobody makes me do these things. I do them because I want to. I think all the tablecloths, no matter what shape or size, round, oval, I don't think they had oval, I think they were round, square, and several different lengths of rectangle. And what I did was I knew it was going to be cutting it up, and they were all the same price. They were all $9.98, I think. So what I did was I chose the biggest one they had so that I would have extra fabric left over to cover my little footstool in here in the living room, the one that has the lemons on it. I like to make like a little slip cover kind of thing for other seasons. So that's what I'll be doing. I also had enough fabric left to put on the coffee bar, hot cocoa bar, and a runner on the middle of the table as well. Now, one thing I will mention is these chargers were bigger than the space in the middle shelf area. So you can see those black pieces of wood that I elevated the glass, and then on the ends I kind of just stained it the color of the wood, and on the front I used two little craft cubes, hot glued them in place. That's probably not up to code if there's a code for that kind of thing, but I did make everything work, and then I did put all my dishes in. And okay, you can see now the runner that was from that fabric. But I don't know why the Better Homes and Gardens Heritage Collection China, I just love it. I hope I don't get tired of it. I don't think I will, because it looks kind of nostalgic and old, but it's fresh and it's so pretty, and I'm so excited to have it. I have other everyday kinds of Christmas plates, some snowman plates and some Christmas tree plates, and other little odds and ends kinds of Christmas plates that I do use during the Christmas season. But I love, love, love just looking at all these dishes. And look at these big serving bowls. Now, one of the things that I did have originally was one of those big casserole dishes. And I'm trying to remember what else I had, but Ben bought me the casserole dish. And most everything else was from the girl in Tennessee that I went up there to get all the rest of these pieces. And boy, that was worth it. That was worth it. And I have just loved, loved, loved having this. I can see that people have bumped into my china cabinet, and that some of my little trees up there on top are not straight anymore. That one on the left and on the right are just a little bit wonker jawed, but that's okay. That's okay. This is real life. Hey, and there's my grand swan with yet another piece of that fabric. I mean, it was like the never-ending fabric. Even my deer head, my paper mache deer head on the front porch in the middle of my wreath, has a piece of that fabric around its neck. I've had the best time playing with all these things for Christmas and enjoying my Christmas dishes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed playing house with me.